Hi, this video is the third video for Lecture 2. In this video, I will talk about law of one price and arbitrage principle. In the first video of Lecture 2, we talk about competitive market price. In the market, you can buy and sell goods and services. In a competitive market, you buy and sell at one price. So this gives us the definition of law of one price. That is to say, in a frictionless market, perfect substitutes must have identical prices. But how can we find a frictionless market? Well, to establish the idea of frictionless market, first we need to talk about the arbitrage opportunity. What is an arbitrage opportunity? Well, if you combine different investment projects together and you calculate the net cash flow of these combined investment projects, you will find an arbitrage opportunity if you have non-negative cash flows at any time point, but you still can find some positive cash flows at specific time point. Then we say you find an arbitrage opportunity. If we find an arbitrage opportunity in the market, what will happen? Let's discuss a simple example for this. Consider you are making transactions in the bond market. The market price for bond is now $943 for $1,000 1 year ahead. But you have a proprietary channel to buy the bond that at price $940. What can you do? You can construct an arbitrage opportunity. Well, you sell the bond at the market price. Then you can have $943 today. But in this way, you have to pay $1,000 1 year ahead. How can you find the money to support this $1,000 1 year ahead? Well, you buy the bond at your private channel at $940. So in this way, 1 year ahead, you can collect $1,000 from this second transaction. And then you use this $1,000 to cover the obligation from the first transaction. Now let's take a look at today's value. So for today, the cash flow comes from two transactions. In the first transaction, you have positive cash flow at $943. In the second transaction, you have $940 as negative. So the net cash flow for today is $3.5. It is positive. And the net cash flow for 1 year ahead is 0 because the two transactions just canceled with each other. What will happen in this market if we have these arbitrage opportunities? Well, we have a lot of investors working in this market, and investors are smart. So if investors think, well, the market price for bond is too high, then what do? They will sell the bond, and more investors will sell the bond, and gradually the market price of the bond will drop. And for your private channel to purchase the bond, well, your counterparty is also smart, so he will charge you at higher price, more than $940. So gradually you will lose this purchase channel. You will have to buy the bond, for example, at $942 or $943. So gradually, the market price and your private purchase channel will be equivalent in the bond price. So in this way, the arbitrage opportunity disappears in the bond market, given the market pressure. So in this previous example, we have this short position. What is the short position? Well, the investors borrow a security from another investor and then sell it to someone else. In order to make a balance between these two transactions, the investors must make effort to return the security they borrowed. When an investors can find these short positions, they can sell things they think that are overvalued. That is to say, they think the market price for these things are too high. The law of one price tells us in a competitive market, arbitrage opportunity will disappear very quickly. In this course, we will have more discussion about bond market and stock market, and we will heavily use the law of one price to establish the price of bond and stock. In a competitive market, we think the market pressure is too strong, so the positive net present value will disappear very quickly. But in some markets, we may think the investors are not flexible enough to respond to the market. In this way, you may still find some short-term investment opportunities, but they disappear very quickly, and the net present value from these short-term opportunities are very small. Now I want to give a brief summary for Lecture 2. In Lecture 2, we talk about the valuation principle. So for financial decisions, you want to establish the value of cost and the value of benefit to evaluate the net value from the decision. We use competitive market price to establish the value of cost and value of benefit. Then we talk about time value of money and net present value. So when we try to analyze the projects with cash flow over time, we first draw the timeline to have a clear graph of the cash flow over time. Then we use interest rate to construct the discount factor so that we can find the time value of money in the future. Then we calculate the net present value of projects, and we use net present value to rank investment opportunities. After this lecture, I hope you can have basic understanding toward the law of one price and arbitrage principle. Thanks.